Yeah, we've used Fosse in the past for developers, and we really wanted to get junior developers into our SITS area because we've got a lot of experienced people that we bring in at the higher grades. So we thought we'd restart that relationship with Fosse and use their services for this new challenge. So it's really about bringing that pipeline of junior developers into SITS. There's generally a bit of a problem in the higher education sector getting SITS developers. So we've had a great success in the past and thought we'd come back to the academy to try again. Public sector doesn't necessarily have the most competitive salaries, and bringing people in to bring them up through the ranks, so maybe with just more general skills that we could specialise when they arrive, was something that we had always struggled with going through traditional routes. Fosse have proven time and time again that they can find people and that their vetting process is really strong. So we had a lot of confidence that they'd be able to help us with this. Managing costs is always critical for us. We've got a large student base and a large staff base. So we do a lot of development in SITS, and managing the shape of the organisation, ensuring we're not too top heavy, was very important to us. So we do have people who work on SITS, and we've had people working with us for a long time, but getting new permanent staff was always very difficult because it's just such a specialist skill. So having a bespoke training course, which meant that we'd get a new set of junior developers, but who were trained in the specific things that UCL needed, was really important and a really great opportunity for us. We had a number of workshops, and we worked closely with the developers at UCL, people who are already doing the job, to understand what a successful associate would look like, what they need to be able to do when they landed at UCL. And I think with all of that time spent ahead of the start of the training course, we managed to come up with a really good solution. The risk you run when you get an associate from Fosse is the speed at which they pick things up, the efficiency with which they contribute. And you kind of forget that for a lot of people, this is their first job, their first time in industry. So building a structure within your organisation to help foster them is something you should be doing early on rather than learning a year down the line that you should be providing. We always get great feedback from the projects, the product teams, line managers, colleagues, from the effort that's put in by associates, the speed at which they pick up new things, and the enthusiasm with which they approach challenges. All of the feedback is always fantastic. The biggest success of working with Fosse is the people that we get. The people we've had at UCL have been some of the best I've worked with. They're enthusiastic, they're bright, they're capable, and they always contribute so much to the organisation.